Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two creative players known for their hard-hitting build orders meet on Arabia as Youpudding, playing as the Mayans in blue, gets ready to take on redphosphoru, playing as the Dravidians in red. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their explorables and try to get their butts up the Feudal Age ASAP, maybe even Castle Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Now the Mayans, a civilization that pushes its players towards archer units. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to throw a second, albeit weaker, javelin, and their foot archers, except for those poor skirmishers I just mentioned, get progressively cheaper as the game goes on at 10, 20, 30% cheaper in Imperial. This discount does help them mass their unique unit, the Plumed Archer, the fastest foot archer in the game, and one that comes with a small attack bonus against infantry. We'll see whether or not the infantry adjacent or focused civilization of the Dravidians suffers under the wrath of the quick moving Plumed Archer. Now to support your ranged units, Mayan walls are 50% cheaper, so archers can stay safe behind a lot of these, and your Eagle warriors can be upgraded to get a massive 40 extra HP. Now to produce as large an army as possible, Mayan resources do last 15% longer, and if you noticed, they do start every single game with an extra villager, but 50 less food, which means that on a random map like this, where you start with just one town center, they do start the game housed, which is why you'll have seen Youpudding researching Loom immediately as opposed to training a villager like pretty much every other civilization. No, I was like 99.9% of other civilizations. Now, speaking of other civilizations, let's take a look at the Dravidians, a civilization that does focus on its infantry. To start with, all of their barracks technologies are half price, and their infantry can be upgraded to ignore enemy armor, essentially turning every single Dravidian infantry unit into a dismounted Lithuanian Latus. This is great news for their unique unit, the Urumi Swordsman, a medium infantry unit that has a massive charge attack every 20 or 24 seconds. And by the way, this charge attack does trample damage. Now to support its infantry on the field of battle, all Dravidian siege units cost a third less wood. Their cavalry also benefit from the upgrade I just mentioned, whereby they ignore enemy armor. Although, before you get too excited, the Dravidians have probably the worst cavalry line in the game, and their skirmishers and elephant archers do attack 25% faster. And speaking of elephants, they can be upgraded to regenerate HP, similar to a Viking berserker. Now to support its military, Dravidian fishermen do carry a little bit of extra seafood whenever they work the lakes and rivers of the various maps, although on Arabia, maybe not something we're going to see. And more importantly, for a player like redphosphoru, who does like to make use of certain Civ bonuses and features, every single time you go up in age as the Dravidians, the developers giveth 200 wood for free, which in the early stages of the game does help with villager allocation, resource management, or once you hit castle, does help you train some of those discounted siege units. So it's not hard to see why our player in red has chosen the civilization. Redphosphoru really does like to choose civilizations that have these very unique features and very resource related features that allow him to quickly pump out units, whether or not it's a specific unit like a wood gold unit, for example, which is what I believe he arose in the ranks of the famous players because of his build order regarding wood and gold units. Essentially what he would do is rush up to castle, place a castle, the structure. He would rush up to castle age, place a castle next to the gold and wood, and then using a castle that he built, although right now he's not going for the stone. Okay. Well, let's see if he uses that Dravidian siege feature. Again, redphosphoru, not only do the Dravidians get 200 wood every time they go up in age, but their siege units actually cost a third less wood. So it's a very wood related, siege related kind of build order. We'll see whether it's that or whether it's barracks technologies, and we are going to see a spam of infantry for now. It is two villagers with axes in their hands that are heading forward. Let's remove the fog of war, take a look at the map, see what we're working with, because we're not seeing the standard redphosphoru, hey, I'm just going to go on stone kind of build. Even though he has seen the stone to the left, he has seen the stone to the right. So I'm very curious to see what this is, and more importantly, as he gets his turkey thieved, I am more interested to see what Youpudding is going to do, because he is going to hit Feudal Age and immediately that 10% cheaper archer unit. Let's see if redphosphoru catches wind of this. He should, yep. And so he knows he's about to get hit by a proxy archer push. Now, luckily for him, he's already begun his wall off and not exactly going after the gold. Let's take a look at redphosphoru's resources, because he is the one getting pressed into. There we go. He doesn't. Oh, yeah, no, he's got the wood for a mining camp. So he's getting just enough stone for something. Now let's see what it's for, because this is going to be 30 extra stone. He's going to be sitting at 230. My guess is probably a counter tower. Yeah, there we go. Which will leave him with 100 stone. Or, you know, at the bare minimum, 100 stone. Now, he's not spending any money on a mining camp, which tells me there's not going to be any follow-up stone-related play. He just wanted enough stone to leave him 100 whenever he built his tower. And there we go, market blacksmith. He is going to go up. He's going to sell that stone. There we go. He sold the stone for 91 gold. He just needs 60 more gold, which I'm assuming he's going to get once he sells a bit of wood. And once he does that, he's going to go up to Castle Age. There we go. Sold his wood for 70 gold, going up to Castle Age. redphosphoru is going to hit Castle Age light years ahead of his opponent. And what is he going to do? Immediately sends 2 villagers of his own out onto the map. Now, you might want to send the scout out first, just to make sure your opponent doesn't catch wind of any of this. For now, the kill count is 0-0. Phosphorus off of his gold, off of his wood, although I'm a little surprised at this tower location here out of Youpudding. It's a little, number one, on the low ground, and a little bit to the left. How's it hanging? A little bit to the left, you know? I forget what movie that's from, but ballsack jokes aside, even if he gets this tower, even if he gets this lumber camp, which is going to be a tougher target, or a tough target period, we'll see whether or not he will be actually able to lay any of the gold. For now, the first kill of the game going to this one villager who stabs that scout to death. And redphosphoru now knows he's going to get discovered. I wonder if Youpudding suspects that there's going to be a villager push here. We'll see what he does. For now, he's circling the north with an eagle. He's got that tower that gives him vision on the left. He doesn't see the gold miners. So again, a bit of a confusing tower location here for Youpudding. Could have at the very least put it on the high ground. He is banking no resources whatsoever, though. And in 17 seconds, his opponent is going to be in the Castle Age. In the Castle Age with 200 extra wood. And he's going to be training. I don't want to say 100%, but I'm like 80% sure this is going to be some kind of siege workshop proxy out of our red Dravidian. Or maybe a barracks. No, that. Oh, not a. Well, look, I was. I'm glad to be half right. I'm glad to be half right with a siege workshop, but not a proxy one. So he's using that 200 wood that he got for free to help him pay for a siege workshop. And what will come out of here? A mangonel immediately houses up because he sees his opponent is trying to bust in through the base. Now, to be fair, there's really not a lot of follow-up here out of our Mayan. But our Dravidian has no more stone. Luckily for him, a siege workshop is already up, as we saw, and Mangonel is going to be able to shoo this whole army away. If Youpudding isn't paying attention, he's going to lose a lot of his archers, but redphosphoru wisely going after the villagers constructing the tower. Now, unfortunately, that does give the archers an opportunity to fire on the Mangonel. I mean, even if you get this tower up, it's not exactly the greatest structure against the Mangonel, and up top, we have our siege workshop. Okay, let's see if Youpudding can do this. He's in the Feudal Age. His opponent's in Castle. He's the one putting on the aggression. I don't see anything being trained by redphosphoru. He's gathering gold with 3 villagers. Both players shoestring economies. redphosphoru more so with only 22 villagers, 2 of which are over here idle, hanging out, not doing too much. Now, is he going to go for more siege at home, or is he going to go for more siege abroad? He asks as immediately redphosphoru begins training 2 scorpions on the other side of the map. Okay. Oh man, Age of Empires with these high elo players really is what's the expression? Idle hands are the devil's playground. They really don't like their villagers to be idle, even though redphosphoru's villagers have been idle here for about 1,000,000 years. For now, the Mangonel continues to attack the tower, and this is what I was talking about. Who cares? Let the tower go up. You've got a Mangonel. It's gonna, your opponent's at the worst case scenario, you're forcing your opponent to dump a bunch of stone. They are not the Georgians. They don't have any discount when it comes to repairing structures. You are forcing your opponent to dump a bunch of stone. Oh, at the same time, though, Scorpion is out. Unfortunately, a villager is dead. 2 villagers are dead. On the other side of the map, the Scorpions are now attacking the berry pickers. And there you go. Your red phosphor games generally, unless he follows a very specific build order, which he does every game, and unless that build order kind of works out, red phosphor games generally tend to devolve into very chaotic, very messy, very micro-intensive, multi-pronged games. But for now, oh, I apologize. I missed the pancake. I'm trying to catch. I don't. It's so hard. I do apologize. I'm trying to catch siege on both sides of the map. Both of these siege units have the potential to do pancake jobs. One with pass-through damage, one with blast radius. Scorpions are moving forward, defensive tower, but this tower's not really going to do too much against the unit that has 7 pierce armor with your 5 attack as the tower. Well, 5 plus fletching, and that's it. Youpudding in Dunzo, he is heading home, or maybe not. Okay, there was a house in New Orleans. They called it the Collapsing Sun here, as Red Phosphoru, I feel like he doesn't really know what to do right now. He's attacking a mining camp, and with the other Scorpion ATC, his villagers have been brought forward. His opponent's going to be in Castle Age in 40 seconds. And he is adding another barracks. He is adding another barracks. And he is adding Eagle Warriors. This is going to be very bad for Red Phosphoru. Whenever you go siege. Ooh, I like that hit. Blood spilling out underneath the TC. Whenever you go siege, or to be fair, any unit with a minimum range, you are very susceptible to faster moving units. Now, usually it's cavalry. But when we're dealing with Meso Civs, it's very much the Eagle Scout. Now, he might want to invest, Youpudding, in Squires. Not an expensive upgrade, but it will allow his Eagles to close in on these Scorpions. Or maybe he shouldn't, because Red Phosphor didn't exactly invest in ballistics. Archers returning home the long route, that's what you get. And again, I missed the Eagle death. Oh my goodness. My pivoting away from the main action is really, really annoying this game. I do apologize. But the town center is not being repaired. He's got 300 wood. The last thing you want to do is dump a bunch of wood. Now, Youpudding, what is he doing? He is gathering his eagles. The convocation is getting ready to attack. 2 split up to the north, 3 to the south, 2 in the center, and let's see it. He's going to close in on this army, and once he closes in on this army, I don't know what Red Phosphor is going to be able to do here. Again, he went a unit with minimum range as powerful as Siege is. Well, there you go. Well, holy moly, that was a quick game, but well, Red Phosphor, lesson learned. Whenever you go heavy on the siege, at least have some kind of supporting unit or towers behind it or something to help you protect against melee units that can close quick. Wow. Well, they 2 build order hard-hitting players meet on Arabia, and it is our Mayan, who not with archers but with infantry beats the Dravidian, who uses the 200 wood, 33% cheaper. Well, 33% wood cost cheaper. They're not like the Slavs that just have a flat discount on both resources. The Dravidian discount is just wood, although it is a bigger discount at 33 to 15. But wow, lesson learned. If you're going to go hard-hitting a siege, or to be fair, even if you're not going hard-hitting siege, if you're going not so hard-hitting skirmishers, you need to back it up with a unit that can help against melee that can close. And he didn't even need, at the end of the day, he didn't even need Squires. Because he just closed in. He just had the numbers. The numbers were not there for Red Phosphor. As much as he used that discount to pump out these units, yeah, unfortunately, he just did not have the ability to defend them against the Eagles. And Youpudding with a transition to Eagles right at the right as he hit Castle Age, literally like a minute ago. Beautifully done. APMs for both players pretty identical. One at the end of the game, literally at the end of the game. One at the literal beginning of the game. And look at the builds. 9 siege units versus 9 Eagles. And again, as the Eagles run forward, they will get killed. The archers will get killed. But once they close, it is game over. It's like whenever Eagles fight organ guns, you know, it looks very dire for the Eagle until it actually closes in on the unit. And then the Eagle just shreds them to pieces. Or to be fair, any melee units. Economies, I mean, technically this is like a 50% bigger economy, but 50% of 5,000. So it looks like our Dravidian got more gold, but Youpudding got pretty much everything else, including 900 stone. I didn't even notice that he had where. Okay, well, it's the tower, and he must have been selling the stone. I do apologize. Let's look at the market play here. Yeah, he sold 1,000, and this must have been a lot of it's stone, right? Because he's got no castle, he's got one tower, and that's basically it. No conversions, didn't see a single monk. 4 raisings to 1, 14 kills to 7. So I know there's going to be a few people out there disappointed with the quickness of the game, but holy moly, not every game lasts an hour. Not every game has 1,000 kills. Some games are just, let's try our all-in strategies. And again, Youpudding and redphosphoru are known for their all-in strategies. I love the proxy siege workshop. I love the proxy archery range. Taken down by the defensive mangonel. I'm a little bit surprised he built this siege workshop here. And by the way, is this scorpion stuck? The scorpion is stuck. Okay, well, there you go. I believe that a few archer kills, but stuck it is between these rainforest trees and the house and the siege workshop. Well, okay, not the longest of games, but a pretty fun game. To be fair, whenever you have players like redphosphoru, Youpudding, Huang, the length of the game is generally not what you're watching it for, because generally the games are about, to be fair, this long. Either these all-in strategies work or they don't, or you get absolutely shellacked here. And believe me, redphosphoru is one of these players that next time this siege push is either going to come with ballistics, or it's going to come with a few spearmen or some kind of trash unit that he can add in here to help at least provide a meat shield for his siege units. And unfortunately for now, there was no meat shield, there was no defense, and there was only death for these red siege units as the eagles flocked and swarmed all over him, going caca caca as they stabbed at these weapons of death, destroyed them. Youpudding takes the W, but GG in a short but not too unfun game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.